What's going on, everybody? It's Chris with 1600 Dust. Next episode is Zero Dust. So, like I mentioned in the last episode, we're going to do change gears a little bit. We're going to try what was considered a meta competitive deck before expansion dropped. And as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and run it with Odd Rogue this time. And, Argent Squire, Cold Blood, Deadly Poison, Dire Mole, Firefly, Saucy Deckhand, Blink Fox, Hench Clan Thug, Ironbeak Owl, SI7, Tar Creeper, Vicious Fledgling, Cobalt Scalebane, Fogelmancer, Leroy Jenkins, Vile Spine Slayer, and Baku the Moon Eater. Nothing from Boomsday in here. And to be frank, it's actually been a while since I've played this deck as well. But I wanted to see what exactly happens when we take a deck that doesn't have any new cards on it whatsoever onto the ladder. So, as you can see, we've been neglecting the main account for a little bit, so we'll see what we come up with here. If you've played the last couple of days, if you've played when any expansion drops, you know it's not an instantaneous boom, all of these decks are no longer good. Especially the first couple of weeks. The metagame's a bit of a Wild Wild West scenario. And in some ways, you can almost, what I'm hoping is maybe capitalize on that a little bit. I'm playing a deck that is proven, is consistent, and is aggressive. Going aggressive in a new meta has always been pretty good for me. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so we're not facing an odd paladin. Stands to reason we're probably facing someone who's trying out some new mech paladin mage. I also wanted to take the added step of not really do a lot of research as far as... Okay. As far as what's available, like on HS Replay, what's being played right now, things of that nature. So we're going to just go ahead and see what we get here. Here we go. Okay. So we've got a pretty interesting option here. We can coin out the Vicious Fledgling, we can coin out the Hench Clan Thug, or we could hero power. And I think that the most powerful play that we have is to coin out the Vicious Fledgling. That's always such an aggressive move. Hench Clan Thug isn't going to do a whole lot for us coined out on turn 2 anyway, because we can't activate the hero power to buff him. So, Odd Rogue's biggest strength is the fact that it's just oppressive. And he's going to try and upgrade this guy. That's a big dude. Now, hero power and make our fledgling huge. Well, we can't really make our we can Iron Beak this guy. It's gonna make him a 1/5, and that feels like it's a pretty strong play, especially because I don't exactly know what I'm expecting right now. Let's go ahead and do this. I mean, Windmill Slam Wind Fury, right? Then I think we Divine Shield. I think we give ourselves a little bit of stability. Back. So the last Kaleidosaur. Okay. How do we get rid of this thing? Need 9. So let's Blink Fox. That does nothing for us. This, however, well, unfortunately, Pink Dinosaur is going to have to eat it. But, you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta keep his board clear, especially of taunts. And we've just gotta kinda make it happen. Okay, that seems like a... Okay, well, Valspine turned 6 after we play Lost in the Jungles. So, what do I do here? I can hero power, and I can play the Henge Clan Thug. Um, you do return haste spells you cast on this minion to your hand. Um, I think that's the play. The other play was the Fungalmancer. And that seemed a little less than ideal in that situation. Okay, so that was a good idea to do that, right? So we are going to some dreams. I do like that Primal Fin champion, and then Blessing getting it back. Yep, it's a pretty cool idea. Okay, so right there we got an example of trying something new, maybe experimenting. I mean, we are ranked 20. Maybe there's a little bit of, you know, we're still kind of at the bottom end of the ladder sort of thing going on there too. But obviously, we didn't experience any issues with our odd rogue deck in this situation. So let's try and run a couple more games, see what happens. Should be playing Odd Paladin because I had that quest, but Odd Rogue's really kind of been my jam through the last expansion, and if this is going to be kind of like the swan song of it, so be it. I'm gonna send it out in style. Not the same guy. Okay. Well, Baku, you're going away. Um, Henge Clan I think's worth holding on to. I know a lot of the more recent Odd Rogue list kind of did away with Tar Creeper. I still have him in here for whatever reason. There we go. Good old meta and great top deck. At this point, turn 2, we're going to go ahead and equip the dagger and poke. And then turn 3 leads right into a Henge Clan Thug. Now we're going to want to maximize trying to keep our opponent's board clear, especially any sort of Silverhand recruits that come out. Yep. Okay. So, here we go. Poke. I don't anticipate anything massive. Yeah, we're gonna go wide. Realizing I took Phantom Knives out of this deck list. So I feel like the better play is to get the Henge Clan Thug up and running, just because it's already going to gain 1. We can clear out 2 of the Silverhand roots, and he probably can't necessarily do anything about the Henge Clan, or he's going to use Blessing of Might to deal with it, and I'm fine with that outcome, because he's keeping that Blessing of Might, using it as a removal spell as opposed to like a finishing blow, and that's what I would rather he did if he did anything. The other thing we want to try and be mindful of is we do have the turn 5 Fungal Mancer. If there's a way we can get 2 minions on the maximize that, okay. So this feels like a pretty clean turn. Going to go ahead and hero power. Hit you. Gonna do that. And most importantly, excuse me, even though we have the mana, we're not gonna play the Flame Elemental, the Sparkly Boop, because that is potential for a combo. What do you do? Summon a 1/1 Joey bot. Okay. I think we do this. And we're gonna go ahead and just hit fix here. Okay. I'm very tempted to kill some stuff first just to make this guy really big, then kind of really upset him when I Valspine it. Let's go ahead and do that. We have enough left over. We have enough minions on board that I would feel pretty comfortable doing a Fungal Mancer next turn, unless something crazy. I mean, does Paladin have a Defile spell now? I don't know. Do they? Gonna make a big single dude. You know, if this is what Magnetic does, I still feel really solid with Valspine Slayer. Feels like a really useful card. Okay. So we want to Fungal Mancer. Kill you. Okay. All right, let's see if we can go for that third win. So, if you were someone who had most of the cards, most of the collection prior to the new set releasing, and you had some decks that were performing at a pretty high meta level, still seems like they're working pretty well. We're a little bit higher than we were in our free-to-play other account, so this has given us a little bit better idea. Okay. Well, we know we want to coin out the Vicious Fledgling on turn 2, so I think I feel comfortable ditching the other ones. Let's see if we're playing a Warlock player. We are playing a Warlock player. A Warlock Zoo player, I mean. Yeah. Or Cube. Or someone who got a really bad mulligan as a Zoo player. Okay. I still think we Vicious Fledgling here. And then I think we kill her. Turn 3, we are going to Hero Power. I'm actually going to go with the plants. And my reasoning behind this is if for some reason it gets killed, I can still have potential to Fungal Mancer on turn 5 and have some minions on the board. What else you got? You've played one card. Okay. Alright, SI Agent isn't going to kill it. I don't necessarily want to... I don't want to silence it. So we're just going to do this. Let it roll. And again, I'm withholding the Flame Elemental. This feels like a good one. But we're going to go ahead and silence you. We're going to swing. Let's give ourselves Divine Shield. And I think we just hit face. So Wally over here has got his mouth taped shut, right? One, two, three. Yeah. I was expecting a Defile, to be honest. Okay. Now we have options. And I think our option is actually playing the Deadly Poison and the Cobalt Scalebane. Then we run our face into the 5/4, and we use one of the owls in the sky to clean up the 2. And then he gets buffed. I think that that's a much more aggressive line of play. We still have the option of Fungal Mancer. We still have 2 minions on the board right now. Defile's not really effective. You could kill the 4/1, which if you're in a pinch, you can absolutely do. Oh, so many taunts. Okay. Is there any way we can win here? Leroy would do 6. I don't think there's any way we win. So I think what we do... I think we Fungal Mancer. I think we just run him in here. Go ahead and kill you. Do this. And we hit face. Now if he's running something crazy like the 4/4 that becomes a 7/7 with taunt, if you got less than 15 life, we would be sad panda. But okay. I'm fine with that outcome. I'm especially fine with that outcome. Because now this is lethal. People don't want me to win. They want to concede. That's unfortunate. Okay, 3 games. So can confirm. Over 24 hours into the new metagame, Odd Rogue is still good. So I think in conclusion, if you're kind of around these ranks, which as a newer free-to-play player I think is a pretty fair place to be, kind of depending on how much playtime you have, and knowing that from ranks 25 to 20 you can't lose stars. So you're at the very least, if you've been putting in the time and the effort, you're going to be rank 20, maybe rank 19. And I think it's safe to say that you can take one of these decks that was actually kind of top tier meta before the expansion happened and still have pretty good success with it, at least at these lower levels. I'm sure, and now that I've done this experiment, I'm going to kind of dig in and look. I'm sure that there are legendaries and things that are making new decks extremely relevant. I know for a fact there are. I'm on Twitter. But right now, this level, if you don't have the cards, if you don't have the gold saved up to get the decks, to get the packs, don't sweat it. Take the best deck that you have that was standard legal and had the most recent cards yesterday and run it. It's going to still give you some success, and it should give you some success for at least the next couple of weeks, if not further along. Hopefully at that point we do see enough of a change so that the metagame becomes new and fresh, and we're experiencing new things. I would hate to see like a deck still be relevant after this kind of everything settled down without any sort of change to it whatsoever. That would kind of be a bummer. But capitalize on the fact that everyone's experimenting. Capitalize on the fact that people don't necessarily know what to craft yet, or what the best iteration of a deck would be. We know what the best iteration of an odd rogue or an odd paladin or a token druid or an even warlock are going to be. So run those for the foreseeable future. And with that in mind, I'm going to call it good. I'll be back in a little bit with another video. And again, thank you all so much for watching. 1600dust.com, on Twitter at 1600dust, and you can find me on Twitter at cmplumber. Have a good night.